So just a little observation really that I wanted to make for a few weeks now, which is that people are often discussing the ways in which YouTube has changed and whether it's changed for the better or for the worse. One of the ways in which I think YouTube has changed for the worse, and by YouTube I mean the circles of YouTube that we run in, right? I'm not talking about music videos or how to do your fucking makeup or any of that shit. I'm talking about the kind of discussions that we have. Is that I think people have become a lot less tolerant to listening to what the other person says. I think back to the days, there's always been a discrepancy, right? There's always been a majority of people that are happy just to listen to one side of an argument. And as much as they'll listen to the other side of the argument, they'll listen to it through the filter of their side. So back in the day when the big thing, I suppose, was Thunderfoot versus Venom Fang X, as I recall it, Thunderfoot had about 60 or 70,000 subscribers and Venom Fang X had about 15,000 subscribers. And I think that most of Venom Fang X's subscribers weren't really fans. They were people that watched them because they were interested partly in the train wreck or partly in seeing what crap he was going to come out with. But they were people that were interested in the discussion and were listening to Thunderfoot tear Venom Fang X to pieces and then listening to Venom Fang X's response. But nevertheless, that were the kind of numbers we were talking about, you know, 60 or 70,000 versus 15,000. One thing that disappoints me now, because that disappointed me at the time. It disappointed me on my own videos that I could make a video. I remember making a video against this guy with this little channel, and his video had been up a couple of weeks, so his views had stopped, right? And I said at the beginning of my video, it's difficult for me to portray what this guy is saying. You really, really do need to go and listen to what this guy has to say. It's not a very long video. And even though I'd said that, even though I'd put a link, the number of views that I had on my video and the number of views that his video went up from that point onwards, I know that only about 1 in 10 people of those who watched my video went and watched even a few seconds of the original video, even enough just to log it as a view. Everybody else just took my side for it, just took what I had to say, just took my interpretation of what this other guy had to say at face value. That depressed me at the time. What really shocks me now is, and this is no indictment on the channels involved, right? And it's also no indictment on individuals, because I know that people's time is precious and they want to see there's so much stuff that people want to see that it's hard to see everything. But it can't be good when we're talking about a free marketplace of ideas and the right ideas rising to the top and people judging the right from the wrong. Where you have a situation, and I think perhaps one of the most polarized examples would be the various disagreements that we've had between Bearing and Michael Rowlands, which has gone on and on. They've made a number of videos related to each other. And yet Bearing has about 344, I think it was 344, about 300. He has 344,000 subscribers. And despite making video after video to Michael Rowlands, about Michael Rowlands only has 2,000. So what we're talking about, a factor of 1 to 170, something like that. And in actual fact, if you look at the number of video views, if those two are taking part in an exchange of slagging one another off or criticizing one another, again, the Bearing video will have 100,000 views and the Michael Rowlands response will have 2,000 views, which however way you dice it, and this isn't an issue of right or wrong, and 9 times out of 10 I will not be siding with Michael Rowlands on the issues, but I do go and watch Michael Rowlands' video and listen to what he has to say. But clearly 98 out of the 100,000 people that watched Bearing's video didn't bother. They're just happy to take Bearing's word for it as to what Michael Rowlands would have to say. I don't know what you think about that, right? And you're probably one of these people that does it. I sometimes do it myself. But I can't think that that is a very healthy way to take part in a debate, where you just listen to one side of the debate and what that side has to say about the other side, that side's interpretation of the other side, and then you make your judgment without even listening to what the other side has to say. And the only reason you have for clicking on the video of the other side is to leave a nasty comment rather than to hear them out. And you know, this is something that I naively in my formative years on YouTube noted and hoped would get better, that as we got more sophisticated on YouTube, that things would get better and we'd want to engage with both sides. We'd listen to a video, this is a video response to X, and we'd go, whoa, well, hold it there, let's go and have a listen to what X has to say, and then I'll get back to it. And yet it seems to have got far, far worse. Things seem to have got far more polarized. People are actually less likely to go and listen to what the other side has to say than they were 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And it even seems to extend to content creators. I know that Michael Rowlands is an example himself, and Christy Winters is another with regard to me, where they're quite open about the fact that they won't listen to my videos, right? That's how curious they are, that I can make a video criticizing something they say. They'll only listen to it through what somebody else has told them about it rather than actually going to watch the video. The kind of mind boggles that even content creators who you'd think it's their business to go and listen to what people on the other side are saying, even adopting that same kind of lack of curiosity. Okay, I'm interested to know what you think about that, because dare say that quite a number of people who are watching this video are guilty of the very thing that I'm talking about. And in fact, from time to time, I'm guilty of doing the same thing myself, right? So I've got to hold myself accountable to it. I'm interested in what you think. Is this really a problem? I think that it is, and I think that it makes the discourse difficult. And any talk, like I say, any talk about this being a free marketplace of ideas is absolute fucking hogwash. It's like going and watching a debate on stage, right? Person A against person B. But whenever person B talks, you put your headphones on and put your head in your hands and say to the person next to me, let me know when we're back to person A. I don't need to listen to person B. Person A can tell me what person B said, and I'll just take their word for it. That would be no way to engage in a debate, and yet that seems to be the modus operandi of how we engage with debates on YouTube. Is that a good thing? I don't think it is. Okay, let me know what you think. Bye for now.